Hello, everybody. This is Prince, and today is episode 5 of Road to Rank 1 with Kalgara. I think we start the day off with 300 million and we end with 400. We got two good games. We have one against a Buggy and one against a Nami. We did win both, which is great. This is the list I'm still playing. Still have the Viper in here. I do think I'm going to cut it in the future to try out the 10 cost again. Just see how much it impacts the Nami matchup. I had a couple games against Roger too, where if they didn't develop that many bodies or if they just had one big guy on the board, 10 cost can definitely come in clutch, healing you a life every turn, meaning most of the time you'll just be at 2 life, and those 2 swings, when they go into your face, you can just tank the big ones and counter the smaller ones, or maybe you'll frighten me a big guy. So yeah, I'm gonna try the 10 cost in the future, but this is the list we played. I do believe I used the 5 cost Viper in one of my games, so that's nice, and it did have a pretty good impact. But that's all, so now we'll head into the games. Alright, so first game we have against Buggy. Our opening hand was kind of meh, and this one is also 2, but we do find the 5-drop Viper. This game is sort of like game against Goofy, except they're not as fast, but their bodies do stick most of the time, since the leader effect lets them play a prisoner out whenever one of their characters are KO'd. We're just going to swing 5 hive here. We do not have a 3-drop, so I'm just going to get a little extra pressure in with our Nami. He did play Bonclay turn 1, so now his best play would probably be to play another Bonclay, and yep, he's going to go for a 6-6. Might as well take the first one just to see if we want to counter out with whatever we get off the life, since it will most likely be a 6 swing again, and he's going to play the Bonclay. Yep, he just does another 6. We'll give him a 2k, and then we can play the 5-drop Nami into the Viper. If we did have a 5 cost Kalgara, I would prefer that, but it is alright since we do still have our double play on this turn. We will be able to remove both of his Bonclays, and he's going to play a prisoner of Impel down after we KO both of them. But since the leader effect says once per turn, and you only get to play one prisoner out, so yep, and here he plays it out. It's still a card out of his hand to keep his body on the board, so it's fine. And he just gives us another prisoner. No reason to give it on. We have nothing to give it on to. Get a 3 cost Kalgara on board, we would have been able to swing 6-6, but it's alright. Starts with the Dawn's leader and swings 6. I might take it here. I don't really know how big the other prisoner swing is going to be, or I assume this might be a 5 cost Buggy to draw him 1 and to play another prisoner out, and it is looking like that since he still has 5 down up. So there's the 6, just baiting if we should take it or counter it. Don't really need the heal since we'll get it eventually, but he does play his Buggy combo out. Now we were gonna just play the 6-drop Kalgara in combination with the Noland, and seems fine. We will be able to leave 1 Dawn up, and we're gonna swing another 6 and a 7. Swinging anything bigger than 6 into the prisoner, or anything bigger than 7 into prisoner, doesn't really matter, since he can use his leader effect when the prisoner dies to play another one out from his hand. And if he had one in his hand, that means if you swung an 8 into it and he let it die, it only takes a 2k out, so it's the same as just swinging 7. But we're just going to push face here. We're getting his cards in hand pretty low. He only has 7 and 1 life. He did have a blocker there. So if he wanted to counter with just the 2k, he could have. But he took, so we're just going to pass here. I don't know what I'm taking so long for. He plays the Buggy out, or no, sorry. He touches Dawn to lead and then swings another 6. He always wants the Dawn to leader because that is the condition for him to be able to play the prisoner out when one of his characters gets removed. Just seeing if we're gonna need the You'll Frighten Me, the amount of swings. Our hand side is pretty low since we did not find 5 cost Kalgara, but we're still fine. We're just gonna take this first 60 swing. Might be a little greedy, but we do have 3 events in hand. He does start with 7 now. I should just give him a 3k, or I could take it and hope he goes for game, since with our 4 bodies on board, we most likely will be able to get there. Yeah. I think I'm just counting the number if he would to jam, be like 7, 7, and a 9. And we would have needed a 2k off of life to survive that, so we're not going to take that first swing. He can still swing 7, 7, 9, and we'd actually have exactly enough. But since we countered that 7, or since if we didn't counter that 7, we would need 2k off life to survive with the Worth Don't Lose event. He's thinking about his turn right now. His deck can play quite a few different things. He can play a Mr. 2, I think, Galdino, or Mr. 3 Galdino, and stun our Kalgara, and then since it gets removed from the field, he gets to draw 2 and play a prisoner out from his hand if he would like. I'm just going to counter the 6k swing, and I do believe I counter this other 6k swing. I can just play the Borsellino for next turn and feel pretty safe with 2 Dawn up, and that is what it looks like I am going to do, if I can't kill him this turn at least. He plays the Crocodile out, and he plays the prisoner back out. Now the buggy can give the prisoner blocker, and the crocodile is also a blocker, so getting through to this board seems pretty hard. Just doing a little math and just do a split. We did get the upper yard, so don't have any 2Ks left, and the only real counter I have in my hand is the Noland. But we're just gonna start with the 7. I could play the upper yard first to try and find the 2K, but then I'm losing a Dawn technically, since I can just play the upper yard out with the Earth Won't Lose. I give us a 2-1 on the 7k swing with the Nami. I should just swing another 7 with the Nolan, which I do. I do have 9 Dawn this turn, so for me to heal, I can swing 6 with our Wiper, play the heal, give a Dawn to our leader, swing another 6, and swing an 8. We're just swinging 6s so that the blockers don't get free block value, and they still have to give us a card no matter what on those 6k swings. Now he does block and 2k this first 7k swing, and I think I'm going into board. I only have 3 swings into his 4 cards and 1 life and 1 blocker, so it's most likely not going to happen. Swing 8 into the Croc. I was debating on which is better to KO. I think both are fine, the Buggy or the Croc, but we'll just go for the Croc this time. He can use his leader effect to replace with a prisoner, which is alright. It's basically giving us a 2k still though to keep the body on the board. Definitely an argument to kill the Buggy instead though, since that one gives the prisoner's blocker, but I think just the inherent RD blocker on the board is good enough to remove. So he does let it go, and he does not play a prisoner out from his hand. Maybe he's scared of dying, which seems quite unlikely since we only have 2 swings and he still has a blocker. Now we're going to swing 6 into this other Buggy, and we should be able to swing 6 into it again and pass with 2 life, a blocker, and 2 Dawn up. He does give us a prisoner. I'm not quite sure why he didn't play the prisoner out off the Crocodile Death. Maybe he wants to just save it for this turn where he's just going to place it over the Buggy, but it doesn't really make sense since he can just 2k to keep it. He's going to play the Slave Arrow to this is why. Yes, he wanted to make sure he could keep the body onto the board when he played the Slave Arrow, because if he used his leader effect earlier on the Crocodile, he would have already procced it, and when he went to go use the Slave Arrow, he would have had to keep the body in his hand. So he's going to start off with a 7th lead. I can just You'll Frighten Me and then play the Earth Onlys to counter. You'll Frighten Me the Buggy, because that is the only one that technically wants to swing, since the other 2 can become blockers, even though only one of them will. I don't think there was any counter in that search, so we're just going to grab the upper yard to maybe look for counter for next turn, or just to look for a Bell Luffy per se. 3 Ghost Kalgara also wouldn't have been that bad of a grab, since it can find me, or it's a Shandian that I can play with leader ability if I'm for sure going for game next turn to get the Dawn value off of our 5-cost Wiper. He's just thinking of what to do. He needs to try and survive this turn because he cannot kill me for sure. and looking pretty hard, pretty rough for him. We did not find a 5-cost Kalgara this game. That is why our hand size is so low. But we were able to play some other strong cards like 5-drop Nami to burn his life, and 6-drop Kalgara um, to pressure. He swings the 8 into our Wiper. We could have blocked with the Borsellino, but I feel like I'd rather have the Borsellino on the board, because just in case for some reason we can't get to game next turn, we'll still have a blocker up as safety. And we do still have a Kalgara on board for the Nolan to heal. Swing 7 into the Nolan, which is unfortunate for us since we don't have a 2K. It's not a bad, or it's actually a pretty good play depending on how many Dawn he needs to leave up for him. But he knows that one of our cards is the Upyard, so it would have to be a 2K as our last card. He's going to play the Croc out and play the Buggy, I believe, or not. Oh, no, I don't think he does. There's a reason for this, because he could have played the Buggy out and it would have been a blocker too, since it would be active. And the Prisoner. He could have played the Prisoner back out and it'd be a blocker because of the Buggy, giving a blocker. But now I know there's probably a Slave Arrow in his hand, which is what the 1 Dawn is for, to pick up the Prisoner on his board and then replay it as a blocker as active. We're just going to start off with a 7. He can take this, or he can play the Slave Arrow now. I'm not really that scared of dying, since we still do have the Borsellino, and our AK Kalgara and our Nami are not very easily swung into. We'd have to attach quite a few Dawn to get through our 6-cost Kalgara. And the Nami on KO, we can just flip our life and play out a 5-cost. One thing to note is when your top life is placed up, the Nami will not be able to, say, if you flipped it with Viper, you will not be able to play something out with the Nami on KO effect. Is actually pretty important sometimes against decks like maybe Rosie. You played out the 5-drop Nami and they decide to start swinging into it, and you use your leader effect to play Wiper, and then now you have a Dawn or a life up. You cannot replace it with something in your hand since the life is already up and you cannot flip it. We're going to swing a 9 now. He did give us the Slave Arrow on the first Nami swing. I don't know why he didn't play the Prisoner back out to make it a blocker with Buggy. But he's just going to take the 9. Then we're going to go for a 9 and then a 10 with our Borsellino. We know he has 2 2Ks in his hand at the minimum. But even if this doesn't go through, the Borsellino, or we will be able to get a block out of the Crocodile. And therefore he only has 2 bodies and he cannot go for game, because if he were to block this swing and play the Prisoner out, if we just swing another 10, he'd have to play, or he'd have to counter and block, or he's just dead. Now I do swing an 8 here. This is bad since he can block with the Crocodile and play a Prisoner back out with his leader effect. I should have just left the Borsellino active so that guaranteed I cannot die. But since he does still have 3 bodies, I am in threat of dying. We do have 2K, 1K, 1K in hand. So math is most likely 9, 9, 9 here. If it's anything less, then we are guaranteed to survive. But we do need a counter off life. We do find it. The only thing that would be a brick is that Wiper, the Upyard, and that's really it. But yeah, all we needed was a 1K off life, and we got it. Buggy's a pretty interesting deck. I don't think it's bad, but the matchup for us seems quite fair. I think we're okay, and it's a good game, and we'll head into the next one. Now into Nami. This is our worst matchup. We do mulligan into a pretty good opening hand. We are going first, so we're going to start off with Stage, and go 3-cost Kalgara, and then follow up with the 5-cost and hopefully a Wiper or a 5-cost Nami. Both of those work. We just grabbed the 1-cost Nami off of the Stage. We are looking for a 5-cost Wiper. Having 3 costs on board it's alright, of course, but it is just trying to find us our 5-cost Wiper, since most of the time it won't swing. There is a curve where if they are going first and you have a 3-cost on board, they can Gravity Blade on 7 Dawn, since they don't want to play Robin, since they don't have any Dawn attached to leader, and Gravity Blade is fine for them to play. But if you have 3-cost on board, you do at least get a swing on it that turn. So we just go 5 to lead. They can just use leader effect to pitch a brick and just play 3-cost Kalgara. we're gonna find a 6 cost and a 3 cost. Those are our only targets. 6 cost is pretty good in this matchup. You just have to find the right time to play it out. After getting this 5 cost Kalgara on board, I feel like it is the best thing to play out. Now we're just waiting for him to do something. He is probably gonna swing 5 and play out a 4 cost, and if he does, then we are just going to give him 1k, since we don't want him drawing off of this small swing, but he is just going to jam 9 and we will take the 9. Find another 3-5 cost Kalgara, probably use that as counter, or if the first one gets gravity bladed. One thing I don't do is I don't really prioritize my 5 cost after I get the first one out, even though I should, since they still can get removed, especially in Tsunami with gravity blade. And 5 cost is really important to keep your hand size in check, or match your opponent, the Nami's hand size, since they also draw a card every turn and you do too. He's going to counter this 7, and then now I'm debating on swinging the 8 with the 3 cost Kalgara, or just playing the other 3 cost. My argument for not playing the 3 cost is that I don't really have a target that I want to play, or something that I want to find, other than maybe Noland. So we're just going to do an 8, hopefully getting another card out, but we do get a life, which is nice. And then this can kind of bait him into swinging into the 3 cost, since we're not really going to use the 3 cost at all for the rest of the game. Does just go leader, so we're going to give him a 2-1. And now I can play 5 cost Nami and play out the big vanilla. There's an argument to play out the 5 cost Viper, just to get the break out of my hand, and it will search me another card. But we're just going to play 6 cost since it is bigger, and like I said before, that the 6 cost will get more cards than the 1 card off 5 cost the Viper will put into your hand. So they're just going to go 7-7 now. We are kind of bricked. We do find a Belupi off of the life. So we do have 3 bricks in hand, 3 2Ks and 3 1Ks, but we're not really trying to give up any of our 2Ks. I kind of want to take this swing, since if I 2K, the other swing will most likely go into our 5 cost wipe, not 5 cost Kalgara. But he's just going to swing 6 lead, we're going to take, and he does get the gravity blade to bottom both of our big guys, which is unfortunate. We do have a Noland and a Porcelino on this turn. I'll most likely swing, matters if we have enough on, but 7-7 at lead, and then maybe a 6 into the Nami on the right. Yep, we just go 7, playing out the 6 drop Kalgara, make sure we can keep the big body pressure, because we do have them quite low, honestly, with only 6 cards and 2 life. This is closer than the other games normally are, or when they just steamroll you, and it's not like he's missed curve. We did get our first curve, and swinging 7-8 was actually pretty good on that turn, since we got a life out. Now on the 7, he uses leader effect on the 5 cost Nami, just seeing if he pitches cards that he can play off the 5 cost Nami on KO. So he does pitch a 5 cost Nami and a Galdino, and those 2 are cards that he can play off the on KO. He gives a Kumasi now, so that is not something he could have played. We're just gonna see, he does have the Porcelino, which is probably, it's not the best play, because I think the best play on this turn would have been Kiku. Just keeping a body that I can't remove is really bad for me. I know that his second to last life is a Hiyori, which is 2k, but it also means that he is playing Hioris in his deck, which he could like stack a Moria trigger, say, or any of the other triggers. Just gonna play out the Porcelino. It is an argument for the Noland or the Porcelino. I think Porcelino is better though, because it kind of gives me an extra card, an extra 1k, because I can block and counter and then play the Noland next turn to heal back again. So he's just thinking he's going to play the Galdino, stun our 6 cost Kara. That is one thing. Before they used to not have Galdino, and the 6 cost would have been able to swing most of the time, but they are going to stun it however many times as they can now in this format, and they also get to draw 2 cards. He's going to play the Zeus, take his bottom life, and kill our Porcelino. And then swing a 7 lead, we're just going to take it since we still need to develop some more board. We can play the 5-cost Wiper now probably, or we can play the 3-cost Kalgara to cycle out the belly fee. I like playing the Wiper though, since we do get to search and get at least one of the bricks out of our hand and build a pretty big body on the board. He also doesn't have much pressure. I know that the life will probably be a Teach or a Moria trigger, something really strong. So we're just going to start off with a 7. If it is Teach, it would be able to KO the Nami, but he's not really going to want to KO the 3-cost, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, we're just going to start with 7. I think I have enough Dawn to swing another 7 and then leave 2 up. If I want to play the 3-cost Kalgara, maybe I'll find the Earth One lose off of the search, or I can also find the Earth One lose off of the 5-cost Wiper search. It's going to give us a block too, so now we can swing 6 into the Borsellino, maybe with our 3-cost Kalgara or with Leader. I feel like Leader should be the first one. So we're going to swing 6, play off the Brick Wiper, and we get a bottom our own stage and search for the Earth One lose. I do think this master line, because I will be able to play a heal for 5 non, attach 1 to our Kalgara, swing another 6 into the Borsellino, or now we can swing a 7 since the Frighten Me event probably won't do anything. He will get a body off of this, but he won't be able to kill me since we have the Earth One lose. And yeah, we have 1 Dawn up, we have 4 2Ks and a 1K. It's looking pretty nice. He's going to be able to fill his hand back up with the Galdino effect and stun our Kalgara. Him going for lethal is going to be really hard right now this turn since we have a gajillion cards in hand. I'm going to swing a 5 into our Kalgara. There's an argument for saving this too, but I just don't value the 5k body since it's going to be, it needs 2 Dawn to swing into the Leader, and I can just attach this 2 Dawn to swing an extra maybe 9k instead of 7. She would get a 2k out of his hand instead of a 1k. So yeah, his best play here probably be an 8-cost or Borsellino. If he plays another Galdino and a Borsellino, that would be very, very strong, just extending the game. But he's going to touch 3 and swing 8. Now, I'm thinking this is a Robin. And if it's a Robin, I do want to heal back up to 2, but I don't have a heal currently in my hand. So we're just going to preserve this last life. Maybe I'll play the Belly Fee next turn just to establish some more board. Get a rush swing into. I do top deck though, the Noland. So this turn's going to be pretty good. We can pivot for the Rush Luffy or the Noland. It really matters, just what we're feeling. Starting off with the 7k is pretty safe. I could have also started off with 7 with the Nami, but this Viper swing seems the best. So yep, just swing the 7 here. He has to give us 2 cards, or he's going to take. I don't remember if he has any Piranhas in his trash. I believe there is a Hogback, but I don't think there were any Piranhas. It was just a Borsellino on the Leader effect. So we're going to swing another 7. He gives us another Borsellino, meaning either the rest of his hand are bricks or they're pretty high value cards, especially when Borsellino would be really, really good on this next turn to heal himself and create a blocker. Yeah, so we're just going to swing 7, not going to use the effect, no reason to. Our biggest guy is the 7k, and it just really doesn't feel that great to play out since it's a 2k and we already have a board full of 6ks. And now, waiting on the trigger, it is a Teach trigger. He's going to kill our Wiper. Now, just thinking if I want to play the Bell Luffy, and I do, just get extra pressure to make sure you can't extend the game next turn and force him to go for it this turn. We do have we have 9k counter in our hand, especially we have the bow event, so this lethal is pretty much never getting through. Do bow event the Luffy, then I remember he has no life to flip for the Luffy effect, so it would have been better to stun the Robin. But we're just gonna counter out of this Luffy swing, and he can't go for the game, and that is it. We're just gonna swing into our Luffy, but yeah, this game is pretty much over. It is, and he scoops. Pretty good game. We beat Nami, our worst matchup. There were no Piranha triggers, which we're definitely thankful for, but it's a pretty good game. Use the bow event to stop his lethal, and that is the last game for today, and we'll go to the outro. Alright, so those are the last games. Did end with around 400 million, which is great. Getting closer and closer. Since the ranks did reset, the threshold is much lower. I do believe we're around rank 200, so that's nice. List is still great. Like I said in the intro, I'm going to put in the 10 cost now. I think he's great in Tsunami. One of the best ways to beat that deck is just to have value generating turn after turn. And all does that, it heals you a life. Most likely takes a life from them too, or you can trade into the Robin. If you swing into it, heal one, and then they let it die, you're just gonna take the life into your hand. So it's basically just a free clear. It is 10 cost, so it is a little slow, but in the future I'm going to cut it. Also looks very nice. But that is all. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah.